Hello everyone, welcome to Vinyl Attic. My name's Chili and today is a release day of Slipknot's The End So Far. I'm going to open it up for you right now, and I've already heard the album and my thoughts on it and kind of share what this looks like. I don't know what it looks like. It says here featuring the Dying Song, Yan, and the Chapeltown rag, and it's on clear vinyl on there, and there's another hype sticker down below. So this is the last album for Roadrunner, which their label. So this is their 7th album, and we'll see what happens for their future. You know, there's just been a lot of talk before this album's come out by certain band members, and it's kind of interesting. I'll get to that because it's like usually when you're campaigning for an album, you know, when it's coming out, you pretty much want to say good shit about it, but it's been different. So this is it. Here's the back and inside. And lyrics on one side. No download. Okay, and let's see what this looks like. It's clear. Now, what I suggested as far as like, is this an album to recommend to people? I would say for vinyl purposes only. It's the same label. If you're going to collect all the colored vinyl reissues of the Roadrunner catalog, then yes. It wouldn't be the album I would direct someone to or introduce them to as far as Slipknot goes. It's probably be the last. But so let me get back to what I was talking about as far as the campaign goes for Slipknot. You know, there's just been articles and different publications are having quotes from band members like Jim Root, who's saying regarding the pre-production, there was no pre-production on this album, and he's kind of apologizing for a lot of stuff about the album. As far as that goes, and there was no rehearsals, and you know, they just pretty much had to go into the studio and write the album. You know, they had the big clock, you know, keeping time, and you know, time is money and whatnot. And you know, he said he was very frustrated coming up with riffs and whatnot. And what else has been said? The Clown was saying, oh well, you know, we were still touring with, you know, the last album, and Corey Taylor's coming out and speaking about the label, and you know, they weren't, the label that Roadrunner is not the label what it was, and people that were instrumental in their journey there and helping them out have, you know, been fired unceremoniously and things like that. And so there seems to be a lot of things involved before this album coming out, and you know, they also said COVID and that type of thing. And you know, when I've never seen that much kind of like apologies or red flags, if you call it, before an album comes out. You know, usually you would hear things like what they're talking about after the next album's release or campaign. Like after they finished their next album, they could say, yeah, well, you know what, this is better than our last album. You know, with our last album we had no pre-production and none of this, none of that. They're saying this now, you know. So it's just like and that's kind of odd, you know what I mean? And I don't know, is it some, maybe there's some internal things? Is this just a big middle finger to Roadrunner Records, whatever they're going through with that label? And because of course you still have to try to say something positive about this. And Corey Taylor was saying, well, this album is sort of, it's very heavy, it's the heaviest thing we've done or whatever, and it's like it's like Subliminal Verses but heavier. And Heirloom, one of the songs on here, is not heavy at all. It sounds like something out of a Stone Sour album. It starts off with, this album starts off with Adderall, which is it's a very slow burning kind of song. It's not, they're not coming in with the bombastic kind of fast, kind of in your face kind of riffage kind of shit. It's just just kind of electronic thing. It's kind of slow burning, and it's cool, but they've done kind of stuff like this before. It's just an odd place for it, I feel, as far as their albums go. And I guess they want to throw out that word experimental. It's experimental what we're doing on this album. I mean, I think in every album there was a sense of experimentation with new ideas and new sounds, like Spider, and just looking at the last album, Spider and My Pain. I mean, those are kind of slow songs, and they're kind of cool, and I feel like the riffs are not here. They're kind of like I don't know. When he's saying Jim Root is saying he's frustrated, and just trying to put something out there, and just like, okay, it's sort of like Slipknot is trying to be Slipknot, just for the sake of just throw it out there, and just put the brand name on it, It's sort of just like say, you're ordering something to eat and the cook says, oh, well, this needs to have Tabasco sauce on it, but we don't have any. I'll just throw on some fucking Buffalo Frank's, sauce on it. They won't know the difference. Yeah, you will. You know what I mean? If you've been eating this dish for a while, eating Slipknot, there's a difference, To compare this to Subliminal Verses is kind of weird that he brought that up, because I mean the songwriting and the musicianship on that album, the arrangement of the songs, the syncopation and rhythm patterns they use, the riffs, just on Duality alone, it just keeps on moving to different things. There's so many surprises in just that track alone. There's no really big surprises on this album. Just the fact that they put Adderall in the beginning of the album, but I'll have to say what I do like. I do like that song, Adderall. I like Warranty was cool. It's just, it's just a good song. It's just, just typical kind of, their riff, but there's none of the drumming style is not as evident on this album as earlier ones, and how the riffs and the drums, they accent the riffs and stuff like that, little things that they do, that's not on here. His lyrics are not as clever, and they're not as sarcastic, and maybe that's just where he's at right now. I don't know if he's just pretty much saving all his good shit for the next, Corey motherfucking Taylor album, who knows, but it's just, I think it's just sort of just like, it's Slipknot trying to be Slipknot. Or when you hear a band, like a new band, and it says, hey, they're trying to sound like Slipknot. That's what this sounds like to me. You know what I mean? So it's not Slipknot, and you could call it like, oh, well, they're changing, they're evolving, or they're progressing, or whatever. But it's sort of just, to me, it's kind of it's just, yeah, they're just kind of phoning it in. And if Jim is talking about that right now, he's kind of like saying he's not happy with the album. you know, it's sort of just like, how can you go on stage and play something like this that you're not happy with, and just go up there and pretend like you're rocking out, like you really believe in this shit when you don't, you know? So that's kind of interesting to see, you know, or they're not, maybe they won't tour for this album, who knows? But it's just, yeah, it's just, maybe they could change it up live, you know, you always get an opportunity to, you know, change things, you know, when you're playing live and make it better. So, you know, if you're hearing the new shit, you know, you could go, wow, it sounds better than the studio album, you know. But I don't know if they're not really that type of band that kind of does that, but who knows? We'll see with this. So I like that, and I like Finale. You know, the last song is really good. It's very cinematic, you know, and there's choral singing, and then there's orchestral violins and all kinds of stuff like that, and it's I would say it's sort of like a modern day Queensryche song. If anything, it's like his when the choruses pick up, you know, and he's singing the chorus. He, you know, reminds me of Jeff Tate and some Queensryche song and Operation Mindcrime or something, you know. But it's that song is really cool. You know, if they're gonna end it off with a song like Finale, you know, and for that one and the first song, it's some of the heavier stuff. It's just like it didn't. It's just like them kind of phoning it into me. It wasn't like when I put a Slipknot album on for the first time, and then, you know, one song hits you with that riff, and that, you know, you could just go, shit, I want to hear that live. You know, I want to see that fucking pit just come out and just, you know what I mean? It's just like, it didn't have any of that for me on here. It just, you know, it's just like, okay, you know. It was only like the more slower kind of songs that kind of did it for me on this record. So that is my my review on this. You know, it's probably the only reason to get this from, like I said, yeah, is either you're, you know, want to collect all of them, you know, and of this Roadrunner series, which is, you know, all the colored vinyls, and put them together, get that infinity gauntlet, like these just little stones, all to gather them all up, and then, you know, get that glove, you know, that's it. But that, or people who are like, where Slipknot can go no wrong for them. I mean, they drank the fucking Slipknot Kool-Aid, they're gonna get this, they're just gonna say this is fucking great. I'm just like, yeah, it's okay. You know, it's probably the least favorite one. I mean, you can only, I guess, you know, when they get to this level of being like in the mainstream as taking metal to a different level, you know, their competition is pretty much, you know, their past, you know. And I liked the album before this more than this one, you know, We Are Not Your Kind. Maybe this will grow on me, but for right now, it's just, it wasn't like on my first listen, it wasn't like, oh shit, you know, it just didn't do it for me. But that's just my opinion. You know, you tell me, do you think this is the fucking shit? Is this like the heaviest album by Slipknot? Is it, you know, is Jim just, you know, is he wrong that, you know, it's not, you know, the riffs are not just there, or, you know, let me know. Just don't forget to like, share, comment on this video, and if you still haven't subscribed, please do so, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.